and an army of snakes came pouring in.
For Venom TV, I'm Jim Cerny, joined by the coach of the Hudson Valley Venom, MJ Maerkl. MJ, thanks for a few minutes.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
Congratulations. The head coach now of the Venom. I know you've been here since day one. Now, how much pride do you take in this opportunity, especially because you've been, working with the entire group, building this thing for months now?
Yeah, I see it as a pretty big opportunity for me to kind of make an impact on the league and kind of show what I have to offer these guys. Like I said before, I've been involved in player development for the better part of 5-6 years now. So, getting these guys better every day, that's kind of the attitude that I've been preaching to them, that they should be coming to the rink. Just having a receptive group like we do, it's been great. And as long as we get them to buy into our beliefs, truthfully, I think it's going to be a great year.
So part of that, having them buy in and everything, is building your leadership group. Mm-hmm. And to that end, I know you announced today that Brett Parker is going to be the first captain in Venom history, a guy that had played with in Binghamton, played with in Elmira, and obviously you've been together here as well. And you've also named him to be a player assistant coach. So talk a little bit about Brett and why he's your guy.
So for the time being, until we kind of get our feet under us, Brett is going to be helping out with the player assistant role. I have a ton of respect for the guy. He does a lot of good things. Very familiar with the league, very familiar with the personnel that goes in and out of these teams. He's been a fantastic asset to us since the beginning of camp. Just as we told him from the start that he'd be a leader off the bat. But, just from day one, without even giving him a title, he kind of knew the job that we needed him to do, is just set good examples and kind of keep people accountable for what needs to be done.
And not many guys in this league are going to outwork him out there either.
Absolutely. He's got a ton of skill. Like I said, he's played over in Europe. He's just that diverse player that, that's valuable in a league like this. Because as we know, especially as of recently, this is an adapting league. You make changes every game, changes in roster, changes in staff. We're very fortunate to have a guy like him.
And rounding out your leadership group among the players, 3 alternate captains that you named, all defensemen, all that played in Elmira last year, so guys that you have a history with. Mark Posar, Austin Pickford, and Rasmus Asp. I guess your thought about them collectively joining the leadership group officially, wearing letters on their sweaters.
Of course, and the philosophy this year, like I said, is like lead by example. And those are 3 guys that just do everything that I ask without batting an eye about it. We don't want to spend the extra time working on stuff at the end of practice, but, we notice things and this is what we need to do. They don't really give me anything about it, and we just kind of get to work. So, I can't really ask for much more as far as assistant captains. They support me, they support their teammates, and they're great guys to be around, so I couldn't really ask for much more.
So, here in this league, in the FPHL, you've got to be nimble. Your roster's always changing. Guys are coming, they're going. And you all have been shorthanded here, for a little bit because of the suspensions. At some point, you're going to get the whole group together, and I know more players are coming in. I guess just kind of your thought about the challenges that you face as a coach and putting this team together when there's so many moving parts pretty much on a daily basis.
I think it's a little bit more difficult for this group in particular as well, because we are an expansion. We are a relocated team, but this is an expansion program. So, everyone, both management, players, staff, everyone is learning something new every day. It isn't just, I go to the rink and do one job. It's, we have to ask the players to help out a little bit and get some stuff done so we can get out of the rink for the day and guys can get home to relax. That's kind of like what we want to preach here, and that's what makes my job so much easier, is having a good group like that. So, the basic everyday hurdles, finding the balance to, have your time to recruit, take care of your basic paperwork day to day, organizing road trips, stuff like that. It is a lot. So just finding that good balance and knowing when to unplug and, take some time for yourself at the end of the day I feel like that's honestly a hurdle in itself. Even though you are relaxing, but finding that time, because truthfully, there's not enough hours in the day to get the stuff done that we need to get done. Especially when you don't have someone else helping you out. Now that I have Parker, it's been great. He's been helping me out ever since. But yeah, just the smoothness and getting everyone comfortable, especially the new players, getting them adapted. And just like, hey, this is what you can expect. But yeah, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing, more difficult than you would see at a normal 9-to-5 job. But you're just a little more busier than you'd be as a player.
This is no 9-to-5 job, by the way, that this guy is doing. There's not 9-to-5.
Right.
You touched on something there about newer players and everything. And earlier in the interview, we talked about the leadership group, and they're more veteran players, guys that have been in this league for several years. Brett's been here 4 years, Rasmus 3 seasons. But you've got some really talented youth on this team that is really, they're showing themselves in a positive light in the first 4 games of the season. We've seen the power in Norika's game. We've seen Bilov with really some magical offensive moves in the early going. Right. I know Gaeta was in the league last year, but he's still a kid too. Mm-hmm. And, just a super offensive talent. I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about, bringing these younger players along and what you've seen so far.
So truthfully, I think the biggest kind of task that I have is kind of finding out how each individual player learns the best, whether that be visually or if I have to sit down and break it down for them on a board, or if I, putting myself out there in a drill and just showing what I ask the captains to do pretty much is lead by example, show the players an example of what they should be doing. It's a big part of player development, and I think it's a difference maker, truthfully. So, I think all of it helps. I truthfully do. The younger kids they look up to our older guys, which I couldn't pick a better group. Like I said, they've done everything the right way since day one here, and that is specifically why that I picked them to be our leaders.
So you go into this upcoming weekend, 1-3 to start the season, and boom, you get Binghamton again. You've already faced them twice. Get the Commissioner's Cup champions on Friday, and you have a new guy in the lineup, or will be here at least, in Jacob Stahl, a defenseman from Blue Ridge. What do you know about him, and what can you tell the fans about him?
Honestly, the scouting report on him was he's a very strong skating defenseman. That first pass is extremely crisp. And that's truthfully kind of what we're looking to add. I have my hard workers. I have my toughness in my lineup. I have somebody that's going to be able to keep his composure. And, Austin Pickford, all-around player. But now I'm going to have somebody that truthfully can lock it down in our own end. And, he's going to be similar to Mark Bozar. He's going to play a huge role in setting examples in our D zone and kind of doing the right things. We've been preaching stopping on pucks and finishing checks and being a harder team to play against. So, I'm extremely excited. The scouting report is fantastic on this kid. I kind of wish I got him a little bit sooner, but it is what it is. We're slowly but surely building our foundation.
So you've been behind the bench actually for 3 of the games because you were in uniform last week. What changes? Is there a different feel for you knowing that you'll be, or maybe you don't know yet because Friday's not here yet, but when you walk out there and really knowing, it was your bench, but now it's really your bench.
Right. Certainly a little added pressure now that, it's kind of solely resting on me. I want to just do my best to do the best job I can. And that's really all I can really ask of myself. I try not to set unrealistic standards when it comes to stuff like this. I am a new coach in the league. This is technically my first head coaching gig in professional hockey, and although I have been involved in skill development and player development for the past couple of years. But yeah, it's kind of the same, another day at work, but at the same time, it's like I think I take a little more pride in it because, it's something to call actually my own. And, we want to build our brand of hockey and we want to be recognized for our brand of hockey. So it is a little nerve wracking because we want those things to be preached to the group. And, we want teams to know coming into this arena that, we mean business.
Good stuff. He's the coach of the Hudson Valley Venom, MJ Maerkl. Best of luck on Friday night this weekend and moving forward.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me.